up out the way, don't get your dishes splat. Stop letting this shit slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back. I feel like I'm JX. J-Way. I'm a perfectionist. Adderall got me restless. I'm gone. Run with a wild crew, they get reckless. Young boy, come up off that neck. Into the trends. See you lead, be the band.
Good evening. Good evening. We are back with a post-game report. The Tigers get shut out in San Diego in the first game of the road trip. And this was another game where the name of the game, not that this has been a reoccurring issue for us, but the name of the game is runners in scoring position. The Tigers left 7 runners on base today. As far as a hit-by-hit comparison, the Padres had 8 hits to our 6. Tigers had 1 error, but in the end, we could not convert on the multiple opportunities that we had to get runners in. The Padres left 5 on base, but they scored 3. So. But yeah, Luis Arias had 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and Jackson Merrill had 2 hits as well. Manny Machado had an RBI and 1 hit. Tatis went 0 in his return game, but yeah, the pitching staff kept us in the game. The Tigers' lead pitcher was Tyler Holton. Hannafy would get the loss. He gave up 0, but Ty Madden gave up acquired two runners from Hannafy, and he ultimately gave those runs up. But not a terrible outing for Ty Madden. He ultimately just couldn't hold the runners that Hannafy acquired. And there wasn't a whole lot going on. Hannafy had an error in the game. Chase Young made a nice play at third base on a play at home plate, on a kind of a bang play. I like that coming from him, but yeah, overall, all in all, Matt Beerling had a pretty good game. He had a couple seeing eye singles. His average is up to 261. He's the leading, has the most hits on the team. He hasn't been out with any major injuries, obviously. There was a controversial, and me and Coach talked about this behind the scenes. There was a controversial decision by AJ Hinch to bring in Andy Ibanez. We know how strong he is. Well, no. It was not Andy Ibanez. He brought in He brought in Justin Henry Malloy for Kerry Carpenter to get the lefty-righty matchup, which, by all intents and purposes, made sense in the sense of Carpenter struggling against lefties, but he did also have a home run earlier this week against a left-handed pitcher. He took a ball opposite field out to left field. But yeah, he chose to go with Justin Henry Malloy, cold off the bench and fresh up from AAA. And Malloy wasn't able, he ended up striking out and leaving a runner on base. So yeah, that ultimately could be something that can be looked back on. But overall, we had a ton of strikeouts. Torkelson went 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Cole Keith had 2 strikeouts. Cole Keith left 5 runners on base in this game. That's a lot. That's insane, actually. He did have 1 hit with no runners on, which was encouraging to see. He took a ball to the opposite field, took it to left field. He's been struggling mightily. He's still hitting 257 despite all this, but he has been struggling mightily ever since his hitting streak was snapped. So I'm glad that he was able to get off the schneid in that regards. But yeah, ultimately, Luis Arias was a thorn in our sides today. Jackson Merrill was as well. And Musgrove. Musgrove had 8 strikeouts. He had a ton of strikeouts. They had 10 overall as a unit, but Musgrove had us striking out and popping everything else up. We had a ton of pop-ups. It looked, as Coach said to me behind the scenes, it looked as if we were just on the cusp of hitting one out. And Parker Meadows did hit a long fly ball to straightaway center field that Jackson Merrill caught on the warning track. But ultimately, we could not manage a single hit. We left 7 runners on base. And yeah, we left 7 runners on base, 5 of which came from Colt Keith. And Colt Keith has been one of our better run producers this year, but he is struggling. He is struggling. Kerry Carpenter had 2 left on base, which is possibly a reason why he did elect to go to Justin Henry Malloy. It would have been a great story for him to, kind of get back up to Detroit, up with the parent club, and make an impact in his first game back, but we were not able to do that. So we got to bounce back. We actually gained a half a game because the Guardians lost today. So I don't know how this loss affects that, but it would have been a nice opportunity to make some more way today. But we did lose. I had a feeling that it was going to be a tough ball game for us because we just played a day game in Detroit yesterday, and only 24 hours later, we're playing a day game way on the West Coast. So I did foresee us struggling in the ball game and having a tough turnaround this quick. So hopefully we can bounce back. I want to say we have a day off, if I'm not mistaken. Am I tripping? Do we have a day off coming up? Let's see here. Of course, my phone is not. Yeah, Tuesday's a day off, and then we play at 9:40 on Wednesday. So hopefully we can bounce back. With a victory because we need to win all these series. So it's your boy Foster Child. Subscribe to Bleachers to Speakers, and also download all of our episodes on Corner to Copa. I'm out.